Hello, 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 and welcome. My Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs, welcome to your full moon to new moon read for this April 2020. I am your reader, Markangela Lyons, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Virgo sun sign, 4 planets, 2nd house. Oh my goodness gracious. I hope you're enjoying the solitude as a Virgo, gotta say. Enjoying it, making the best of it, and I do mean in the best way possible. That being said, if you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and feel free to comment in the comment section below. I do like getting feedback from people how this stuff clicks for them. But do keep in mind this is a general read, not a personal read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not, and check your other signs, which is why I almost always do Sun, Moon, Rising signs, Venus for relationship stuff, etc. Cool, cool. Because we're looking at a full to new moon reading, what I call a what do I need reading, right? It's like, well, what do I need? What do I need to focus on for this waning side? So we're looking at April 7th, the full moon in Libra, 10:15 p.m. Eastern. I will be doing something in my Facebook group, the Markangela Lyons Mel for Shorts Facebook group, for full moon that night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then 11 p.m. I will be on YouTube chat for a card draw. So yeah, I'm going to do the more spiritual stuff in the private group, and the card draw, we'll see what the guides want me to pull for that, just so that you know, because I'm pretty much doing 11 a.m., 11 p.m. on YouTube streaming, just doing it. My way to serve, doing what I do best, giving the best that I got. Little Anita Baker there. That being said, let us get down to business here. Oh, that's the other part. I have a list because there's so much info and stuff going on. The new moon in Taurus, can't wait. Blessed be, right? But we have to get through that dark moon in Aries. 3 days before new moon is dark moon. It can be a really troubling time. And being that it is in Aries, that I keep getting this feeling of volatility. So not to put fear or anything out there at all, but to just get what these readings are about this time, because most of us are isolated, can't go out doing stuff. To really focus on spiritual self-healing. That's what these readings are for, and that's why I'm doing only 5 cards, 1 card from 5 different decks, air, fire, water, earth, spirit, for the 4 directions. So it's an element spread. I've certainly done them before, but not in the 4 directions with center being the 5th element. Cool, you'll like it. It's holistic healing ultimately, but from the perspective of spiritual healing. Everybody take your meds, do what you're supposed to do, wear a mask, whatever, you know, just be wise, be strong, keep it together, and we'll all get through this together. That's all I'm going to say on the subject, because that's all I'm going to say on the subject. I mean, do what I do. So keep an eye on your breath as we do this. I will do the same, and I will get you as much clarity, guidance, and grace as I can for my Virgos. Cool, cool. Nice deep breath. My angels, please, 1 card in clarity for the Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign from this full moon in Libra to new moon in Taurus. Element of air, powers of the East. What can they focus on? Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Angels, healing with you for the Virgo Collective, myself included, if you don't mind. For full moon to new moon next, Serenity. Do you know how many people I've been talking about the Serenity prayer to? Just, I mean, in general. And I keep saying I never officially went through a 12-step process, but I'm a research witch. I will find what works for me. And I have to say, surrendering to a higher power has been a theme in my life, considering my career, being the gay witch that I am from a very young age, to really get that there are things that we can't change, the courage, the heart to change the things that we can, usually the psychology, the spiritual practice that we can do some work on, but the wisdom to know the difference only comes from experience, because wisdom only comes from experience, not just book learning, right? So we are off to a wonderful start, and I will say we, because that has been an ongoing thing. I mean, serenity, as much as it is, we consider it perhaps an emotion. Serenity now, that would be in the element of fire. we're really, really tuning here to serenity as a mental thing, to even think about, contemplate serenity, to be serene regardless of what is going on around you doesn't mean you're disconnected. It's that you are aware. It's a quality of awareness, consciousness, of an inner peace that allows you to radiate that peace in a time of what is apparently chaos to us, but is somehow divine order to the gods, and that's just the way it is, and I didn't write the book on that, so there you have it. Nice element of air. Let's take a look at your element of fire in the south with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. 4 suits in here, the problem, right? They're half the deck are called problem cards because it's good to know, like, what's the issue, the subject, the lead to be alchemized to gold, the thing to be faced, the shadow to be embraced. Oh God, I'm starting to rhyme again. The element of, the suit of luck, the suit of healing, and the suit of grace. So let's see what we get. Nice deep breath. Oh, for the Ascended Masters, oh, my beloved Ascended Masters, please just one card for the Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon in Libra, to new moon next in Taurus. And yes, they draw the symbol of Libra over there, and then they draw the symbol of Taurus over there so that I can watch the variations of quantum timelines. Talk about a braid. It's like thousands of different hairs braided together. So please, my Ascended Masters, one card in clarity for the Virgo Collectives, considering its waning moon. Piece of luck, a piece of grace, a piece of healing, or a piece of the problem, please, my Ascended Masters, one card for the Virgo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, this full moon to new moon next April 2020. Now, neediness. Now, here's the thing. In terms of the element of fire, which is your will, which is your desire, the things you yearn for, the things you burn for, who wants neediness? And yet dealing with neediness is so important because that is an indication of the inner child calling for the love that only we can give it. In other words, there's serenity. There are certain things that I want, and there are certain things that I need. May I know the difference, right? But neediness like this is hanging on, this is clinging, this is dependency. There is no dependency card in this deck. There's independence, which, by the way, is also a problem card. It's completely, I don't need anybody, that's not the answer either. There's a healthy place between neediness and independence, and for Virgos, it is sometimes an ongoing thing, because we're very good at self-isolating, but particularly if we feel needy, and we isolate to is not, go there, doesn't mean that we're actually allowing that voice of what it needs, because that's usually an emotional thing. But in the element of air, it's saying that there is a choice, there is a transformation available to you here. So what do we do with our needy feelings? I don't know about you as a Virgo. I work harder, but is that necessarily resolving it? Or do I really have to self-care and give myself what I need? Even if it's just, honey, I don't know what you need. I don't know what we need, but I'm here. And I love you, and we'll take it moment by moment, breath by breath. We're in this together, right? To say that to the inner child, to say that to that feeling of neediness. Because the voice of neediness in us needs more love, not less. And as we're clearing it for ourselves, we're clearing it for the collective. And wouldn't that be nice if it helped everybody get what they need, right? Clearing it from the quantum that way. Remember, we are all on this together, and if you're doing internal healing work, which is sort of what these readings are about, you are serving as a first wave, divine feminine, empathic, light worker, starseed, whatever you want to call it. I'm a mystic. I could call it all of it and none of it. Thank you, as long as I call it, right? So to tend to that voice of neediness, it is pretty much always the child within. Because we're not talking about your basic needs of food, clothing, shelter, right? Yes, we all need to be touched, and I'm sure someday in the future we will be able to embrace each other again. But for right now, ain't nobody hooking up. If you haven't hooked up already, all part of the divine plan. And let's see what that's doing with the element of water. Should be interesting here. The emotions, the powers of the West, element of water, powers of of wetness and emotion and intuition, we're going to ask the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the voices of the goddesses. Even though the god that sits in the throne of Virgo for me is Dionysus, my natal patron, as well as my patron this year. He chose me again at Yule to Yule. So let's see if he, let's just see what happens here. Nice deep breath. My goddesses. One card in clarity for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising signs for this new moon, full moon in Libra to this new moon in Taurus, April 2020. Please, my beloved goddesses, what's going on in the Virgo collective here? In the element of water, powers of the West, what's going on emotionally? What's the emotional healing? Like, what do they need to heal emotionally, to focus on emotionally? Give us a piece of a story, a piece of your divine feminine guidance and grace for the well-being of all for these Virgos. What do we need? Myself included. Just a little clue, a little tip, a little hint. Two of Cups. Ooh, piece of candy. Two of Cups. All right. So attraction, right? The whirlpool. To get that we're being guided somewhere, but we may not be guided all the way to the Ten of Cups, like in an instant. This is over a waning moon. So it would make sense that in the emotional field, right after new moon, that we are being guided in deeper within ourselves, right? But I gotta say, the Two of Cups is so synonymous with the love card, the romance card, the attraction card, that it does say that through this serenity of the mind, the neediness gets balanced in some way with two cups as far away as possible, but slowly making their way to each other. Now, this is obviously not a romance-based reading. We'll see what other cards come out. We got room for two more here, particularly the next deck we are about to use. Could call this out, make it a little bit clearer, but there's definitely movement in the heart there for us. And it does feel good, particularly, okay, the serenity, right? To accept the things that I can. The mind working on that. The courage, the heart, the emotions to change the things I can. To accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Been a long day. So we're riding along with that. Let's see. Let's actually jump. Thank you, my goddesses, because who doesn't love to see the Two of Cups in the water position of all places? A lot of internal healing, a lot of giving of love to the self. That's kind of like what I'm feeling here. Whether this involves somebody else, this is about really giving that love, feeling that love that only you can give you, and that child drinking deep, right? The needy child. Let's ask the higher selves. Now, when the guide said to use this for the north, the element of earth, I was like, really? The higher selves? They said, well, who else would be more interested in terms of one individual soul embodiment's physical body and physical world? I was like, oh yeah, it totally makes sense. I'm using this from now on. I will use this spread again for other things. I really like it. It's just I haven't done it in this this order before in a while, I should say. Nice deep breath. The higher selves of all involved, mine included, please. One card in clarity for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign, in terms of our own spiritual healing, in terms of, our element of earth, powers of the north, our physical world, our physical healing, because we've got that card of serenity in the mental. It makes sense. Dealing with the neediness, which might be more the wantiness, but that's okay. Still to really focus on that in terms of will and desire, wanting to heal that with that intention. With the Two of Cups, the whirlpool in the heart, to be able to give ourselves that love or be receptive to that love in a way that will continue to build through us. So really, in terms of the physical, higher selves, there you go, of all involved, one card in clarity for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. From this full moon in Libra to new moon in Taurus, April 2020. What's the whisper of love from y'all to us, the Virgo collective? New love. New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. So that's kind of Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of, because the courage to change the things we can is to love the things that we haven't loved before. That's something that we can change. To love what rises, you can go Matt Kahn on it, embracing the shadow. You can go like what Carl Jung, shamanic culture. There's so many different ways. This isn't ultimately new, but we're getting newer and newer, clearer and cleaner understandings and perceptions and truths about the path we've been walking on, well, since the Big Bang. And I mean the original Big Bang, just not the TV show. One more card down. I mean, that new love card just kind of... That's why I love that deck. I really, really do love the Whispers of Love Oracle. But you know I can't go on without giving you at least one Healing Mantra deck card from Matt Kahn. The card of Spirit, right? Let's do this. Let's ask the Ascended Masters, and we'll pop up a picture of the spread because it's just so pretty anyway. And we'll see what else pops. Cool? Breathe. The incense smoke is lovely, but it's getting in my eyes. Breathe. Oh, that feels good. My Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity for the Virgo Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising signs for this full moon in Libra over there to this new moon next in Taurus over there, particularly with that dark moon in Aries right before we get there. What card? What's the perfect healing mantra for the Virgo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs for this full moon to new moon next April 2020? Please, my masters, what you got for us? Now, before I even look at it, just to say one side of the card is the mantra, the other the name of the mantra. I will use the name of the mantra to look it up in the book, because otherwise there's nothing else written on these cards. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it because, oh boy, here we go. Because it's a pastel card with white ink, but befriending pain is what we've got, and I've gotten this before. You know, this is, I don't know whether this is physical, emotional, or mental for all of us. We're going to read for the book because it really, really feels really, really good and totally understandable. But here's the Two of Cups part of it. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. And I think a lot of that is, well, here's the things I can't change. This pain that I'm in. And what's the wisdom that I'm getting from this? And so what can I change? Well, it's very much about this new love, loving ourselves in a new way, to loving what we have never loved before. Now, I'm going to read you what's in the little bookie book, because I've gotten this a bunch of times. I got this right after, oh, let's not even talk about it, because that seems so very long ago, considering another world from where we are now. But I know this mantra pretty well. So, from the higher selves, allow me to read for you, my Virgo brothers and sisters, befriending pain. Hold on one second, befriending pain. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. When you befriend pain, you are allowing limitations to be released from the cells of your body. Because pain is often the result of rapid transformation, the world, it's essential to make friends with it in recognition of how quickly you are evolving, right? So that's the thing. The pain that you're feeling is because you're choosing intensity over time. Yeah, it could take you longer to heal. Wouldn't be as dramatic. But I think that's kind of scripted, and the soul gets to make those choices, I think, inevitably, not the personality. It might be uncomfortable and sometimes nearly unbearable, but your most profound shifts in consciousness often occur once pain is befriended as an ally of your evolution. And that is really true. This mantra is ideal for healing the body, mind, and soul on an energetic level. They literally gave us the Virgo mantra to do. I'm not saying in this book it says it's the Virgo mantra. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. And I've just said this a couple of times in streaming in the Facebook group as well as here on YouTube. We're going to have to get used to comforting each other through loss. We're going to have to get comfortable with people crying, us empaths, and we're going to have to get comfortable with crying with people because it's authentic. It's very Virgo. It is very pure. It's like, this is what I am feeling, the sensitive core of me. But, you know, Virgo doesn't mean we can't be vulnerable. We can be vulnerable in a way that is very highly boundaried and ethical, right? And it feels like this is a part of it. I mean, what a beautiful reading. I know, tricky as fuck, but hey, we're Virgos. We can deal with this shit. And we have to do it together, which is the beauty of this. Let's pop up the picture and have a look-see-dooksy from a higher point. Ready? Magic clap. So we start off in the East. That Angel of Serenity makes total sense. That really, if it's a mantra, whatever it takes, whatever your version of the Serenity prayer is, or really research the word, use your mind, rub your third eye all over the word and the concept of serenity, right? Because in the element of fire here, there is a neediness. So there's something that it's not just about wants and desires. It's affecting your decisions in the sense of, you know, the fear of loss. So grabbing on, digging your nails in, holding on to something that it's time to leave. Now, of course, neediness is implied in loss, but it can be in place even when everything's fine, just to make the point. Like, you just, the thought, the fear of loss can trigger neediness. And what is that? That child inside of our hearts that's trying to protect us, and we're supposed to be protecting it, him, her, right? Both. In my case, I have both little boy and little girl in there, my sweethearts. You know, my emotional innocence, right? As a Virgo, right? So to give that child that love, which is totally indicated there in the Two of Cups. I know everybody wants it to be the true love card. It very well can be if it's the love that is based in truth, that is based in unity, that is based in the divine, right? That kind of divine love, true love, truth. To give yourself that love that only you can give yourself, which then is, of course, mirrored in the Earth card there, right? New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. I mean, it's really just saying that. A whole new take on love for us Virgos for this full moon to new moon next. And it would make sense that we would be working it through the waning moon process of letting go. We are, after all, ruled by the intestines, so we're going to absorb what we need and let go of what we don't, just like the Serenity prayer. Well, what is it that I can't change? What is it that I can? And with the mantra, to befriend pain. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. And to get that, as that's happening to us even on a cellular level, on an energetic level, on an empathic level, we are not just clearing it for ourselves. And not just for all of humanity, but truly all of life and all of the planet. Earth signs that we are. Mutable earth signs that we are. We are the shifting sands. We are the change in that, the Virgos. So may the Virgo collective, sun, moon, rising signs, myself included, be blessed with the serenity to heal the neediness that's affecting our choices that within us, to heal that child, to love that child, to give ourselves the love that only we can give ourselves. And if that Two of Cups manifests itself as one-on-one encounters near or far, may we be blessed with that, as well as there is a new love arising even with that in terms of the physical world, that it is this opportunity that we have to love like we never have before ourselves in all of life, as we befriend pain, keeping in mind when discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. So may our most limiting beliefs be healed under grace and in perfect ways, step by step, so we may grow, that we may heal, that we may become the best that we can be, and fulfill our roles in the divine plan for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Oh my goodness gracious, that was a mouthful again, my Virgos. I love you all so very much. May you be blessed with all of the best this full moon to new moon next for April 2020. But for now, my darlings, Virgo power, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.